Hi, my name is Blake Miller, and for my golf lesson I chose to give it to Cole Bondo, a good friend of mine. Cole played high school golf with me, but since he has been in college, he has not gotten to play as much golf as he would like to. Although he hasn't played much, I was really surprised at how good his swing looked. Here's a down-the-line view and a face-on view of Cole's swing.
Really nice swing right there.
Cole's ball flight tendencies were a high draw that was hit solidly sometimes, but usually was thin or heavy. I noticed that Cole had two main misses. One was a pull hook, and the other one was leaving the ball out to the right when his hands got caught too far inside. Cole told me the main thing that he hoped to gain from these lessons was to be more consistent with his ball striking and his ball flight. The first thing I looked at were his grip, his posture, his ball position, and his alignment towards the target. His grip and posture looked great, but I spotted some problems with his ball position and his alignment. Cole was hitting a 7-iron, and the ball was positioned more towards the front of his stance. I told Cole that this was too far forward in his stance for a 7-iron and was probably the reason for his pulled shots. We simply just moved the ball back in his stance, and he saw immediate results. Next, I informed Cole that his stance was slightly closed and pointing right of his target. This was also a reason for Cole's pulled shots because it caused him to swing across his body. To fix this, we simply pointed a club on the ground towards his target and had Cole stand along it to make sure he was aiming at the right place. These were both very simple fixes, and Cole saw immediate results. Here's a quick look at what we did to fix Cole's alignment problems. Now let's move on to lesson 2. When Cole returned for his second lesson, I asked him if he got a chance to practice at all since our first lesson. He said that he had played a few times and that his ball flight was more consistent and he was hitting less of his misses, which were a pull hook and pushing the ball outright. When I watched Cole hit for the second time, I noticed that he was still having a little bit of trouble making consistent contact. I noticed that he was taking the club very far back at the top of his backswing, way past parallel. This was even more apparent when I watched him hit longer clubs, such as the driver. I believe that this long take back at the top of his swing was the reason for Cole making inconsistent contact. As you can see in this video, Cole takes the club back a little bit too far in his backswing as the club sort of lags over his left shoulder. I believe that this messes with his tempo by causing it a challenge for the upper and lower body to match up consistently. This causes him to lunge at the ball as he tries to get his hand through, resulting in heavy or thin contact. So, for our second lesson, I demonstrated and explained to Cole that he should see how shortening up his backswing felt, and to focus on making solid and good contact. As you can see in this video, Cole's backswing gets slightly shorter at the top and his tempo is slightly slower. This resulted in cleaner contact. I told Cole that his long take back at the top was probably an attempt to get more clubhead speed, but it really was not needed. He had plenty of clubhead speed as he was hitting his 7-iron nearly 180 yards, and he would see cleaner contact with less lunge at the top if he shortened up his backswing. After the lesson, I asked Cole to give me some feedback or an evaluation on how I did as a first-time instructor. Here's what he had to say.
Blake did a really good job with helping me on my consistency. He picked out a few things that I didn't notice. We worked on my stance coming up to the ball. I was a little bit too closed at first, so we worked on getting it square, and then we also worked on making sure that I didn't take my club too far past parallel on my backswing, which really helped with consistency of like ball striking, not catching it too thin or thick.
Overall, this was a great learning experience for me, and you have to start somewhere. It was really cool to see some positive results from my lessons. Cole has always been a great athlete, so teaching him probably wasn't as hard as teaching a first-time golfer. In the future, I will continue with what we talked about with Cole, and I will give him some drills to reinforce what was taught. Since I know Cole's game, I know he has some problems with his short game, so I would probably move there next. Looking back at the lessons, I think I did an alright job considering that these were the first lessons I'd ever given. I recognized how hard it was to teach the golf swing and the challenges of communicating what you want the golfer to physically execute in their swing. There was always room for improvement, and I know that I need to not overload the golfer with information. I'm sure as I become more experienced over time, it will be easier for me to diagnose problems and easy ways to fix them. I would like to thank Cole for his time, and I look forward to improving in the future.